right, welcome to Atooi Talks, Episode 1, the weekly show where Jools and Perry talk about making games together and playing games together. I am one of your hosts, Jools, and on the other side is Perry.
I'm Perry.
Hello, Perry. How's it going?
Good. I thought you were gonna have me introduce it,
I know.
Then you said Perry, so it probably was.
I know. It's falling off the rails already. Honestly. Hey man, good to see you.
It's good to see you. It's going good. Good to see you.
Yeah.
I'm excited for our new little venture here.
Me too, man. Me too. Cheers. Cup of coffee.
Mm-hmm. I'm done with mine, but I'll act like I'm drinking.
I'm at the beginning. You're at the end. Good times. So we're going to try and do this fancy podcast weekly. Hopefully we do that and stick to the schedule. But, life gets in the way sometimes. And
could be 3 times a week.
You never know. You never know what's going to happen.
Mm-hmm.
But it's going to be fun regardless. Our focus is mainly on game development with a little bit of playing of the games on the side. Obviously Atooi stuff as well as other stuff. So it's going to be fun, man. I want to go over quick who is Atooi right now. And we are surprisingly small. Smaller than some people may think, actually. So there's me, of course. I'm Jools. Hey, how's it going? Focus on game design, art, founder of the company, that kind of fun stuff. We have Perry over there. Hi, Perry.
Hello.
Game designer, musician, sound extraordinaire. Perry and I have been friends for many years. We've been working together for many years. We can get into more of that later, today or in the future. Matthew Gambrell is a programmer who we are working with on Hatch Tales right now. And been working with him for a long time as well. We did, I guess, Mutant Muds, I think, is the first game we did together. Yes, I think it is. As far as the game that he and I just worked on exclusively. Mm-hmm. He's working on Hatch Tales, like I said, which is super fun. And then we have Phil, who is a programmer extraordinaire working currently on, I nearly actually said it, on a secret project.
Oh.
We've been working with him for a long time. Years now. Not sure of the first game we worked on together. Totes maybe for Switch, or Soccer Slammers. Something way back then. But we probably worked on a game prior to that never saw the light of day. That happens a lot.
Mm-hmm.
But anyway, we'll probably cover that over the coming weeks.
And he's not here.
Years.
Phil's not here.
He is not here
right now.
He is not here, but in the future he will join us, which will be super fun. Obviously Atoi's been very quiet for the last couple of years for various reasons. Just working on lots of different games. Obviously then the pandemic came along and said, hey, how's it going? We had big games we're working on. Ran into a few obstacles along the way, which have been very interesting, and now we're finally coming to fruition, specifically with Hatch Tales, and we have a few other things going on, but that's the main juice of our talk today. And there you go. That's the quick wrap up. So there's a lot of origin things to kind of cover in this episode, but
yeah,
we won't in the future.
And Hatch Tales has been Hatch Tales for how long now? I can't even remember.
That's a good question.
Because it's this Chicken Wiggle workshop.
Right. Has it been a year or two? How long has it been Hatch Tales for?
I think it's been a couple of years.
Right? Isn't that crazy?
I don't know. Maybe a year. I don't know. I can't remember.
The amount of time, and I definitely understand people's frustration in how long this project has taken, because it is incredible to think how long we've been working on this. Was it 2018? 18, yeah. Is when we did the Kickstarter.
And I remember when Chicken Wiggle came out in, 2017, right around on the 3DS, right around Splatoon 2, because I remember dividing my time between the both of them. But yeah,
in August 2017.
Yep, and I guess that's how we kind of met. We met right before Chicken Wiggle,
right?
And then I came along to do the music for Hatch Tales for Chicken Wiggle Workshop at the time.
I know. I remember that when we were chatting about that. Amazing stuff, man. Because we had already landed Mr. Grant Kirkhope to do the theme tune For Higon
Name
Higgity
drop.
Hatchtails. Name drop. Oh, you want to pick that back up? No, I'll just leave it right there. We'd scored him for the theme tune. And then we chatted, and I asked you the very demanding question, hey, do you think you could do the soundtrack to match Grant's style? And you're like, yeah. I was like, okay, let's go. Why not? Sure. Why not? And that was a long time ago. And, and I'm very happy to say the music is fantastic. So you definitely stepped up to the plate. Good, sir.
Thank you. Yeah, that was a lot of fun. That taught me a lot.
Yeah, man. Amazing.
And weirdly enough, that I got to do through weird means a ukulele soundtrack for the board game that I designed.
Soundtrack for ukulele.
So I make my living off of copying off of Grant Kirkhope.
Yeah, sanctioned and stamped by Playtonic.
Yeah,
amazing. You worked with them to create that, which is like it's totally legit. Great soundtrack, by the way. Capital B-Sides.
Thank you.
It was a release with the ukulele game decks.
Yeah,
great stuff. It's a really great. It's a really great.
Well, it wouldn't have happened without Hatchtails. Like it's
true,
really funny
because you had the proof of like, here you go, here's my stuff. They're like, okay,
yeah, that was kind of fun.
That's amazing, incredible. Yeah, fun stuff. Well, we managed to grab some questions from our Discord community, a smattering of them. So would you be so gracious as to ask the first one, and I will attempt to answer it?
Well, and so we don't have the names here of these people.
Yeah, it's in the brackets. See Discord, and then I don't know how you pronounce it, but yeah, it's in there. See that?
Okay, this is from Vil.
V-I-L-L-E? Ville. I don't know how you pronounce it.
I thought when I saw these, I thought that like you were like naming this segment like Discordville.
Oh, okay, nice. Nice.
Anyway,
I like that.
Anyway, they say, what challenges has Hatchtails faced during development, and what has caused its delay?
That's a big, juicy question. That is the big question, isn't it? Challenges. Well, it all started from changing the vision of the game after the Kickstarter, which I understand for many people has probably caused some discomfort in why did you do that? We backed this. We want that, not the new thing. And I totally get that. And that does suck. But for us, and every game we've worked on and every game we will work on, we kind of learn from the process, right? So we did the Kickstarter Chicken Wiggle workshop, and the idea was let's do a direct port of Chicky Wig to the 3DS, to the Switch, HD artwork, boom, done. And that's what the Kickstarter was, and that's why we raised the money for it, and that money was for that. Pretty quickly, though, I think, because of the progress we're making, and I think oftentimes in game development, at least if you're open to try and make a great game, which we're always open to try and do that, is you allow yourself for other thoughts and ideas to come in to hopefully improve what you're doing. And that happened. We kind of had an epiphany where we're like, wait, why are we limiting ourselves by just doing a 3DS port to the Switch? Most people on the Switch, when they see this game, won't know anything about the 3DS. We don't need to be tethered to that legacy. We can allow ourselves for this game to grow into itself. What does that mean? And for me, it was like, wow, we're doing a new console release of a mascot game. Whoa, okay, let's step back. What does that mean? So that fortunately, unfortunately meant we kind of had to redo a bunch of things, to really reapproach the game from the player's eyes of what should this look like. So we changed the main menu, the level select, overview, kind of whole interface. We more than doubled, if not tripled.
By the way, what you just said, changing the menu and the interface, that being in itself, like the graphics, and it's not just, we didn't just change, like we just changed how the interactions like with the game, what is it going to be like for most people opening up the game, and the vision of the game just really just completely changed from what the intention of the game was, which just like you mentioned. So
and it was exciting. It was an exciting time for us. That's what does make it tough. Although I understand it does make it tough when everyone is so upset with what we're doing. And I think a lot of it is because of my terrible communication of what we're doing. And I totally understand that. And that's on me. But we make games. We're not in the business of communicating what we're making. Typically, we just try to make a great game. So that is what it is, unfortunately.
Right, and I mean, and to play, maybe playing defense here, but like also, I bet this happens a lot. In fact, I know this happens a lot with games, otherwise, like that we've ever heard before.
Mm-hmm.
It's just that we haven't, now the communication with everyone is so direct now, and also it being a Kickstarter, there's that
absolutely, there's the extra connection to the people who backed it, which is understandable.
Yep.
So it's a really exciting time. So we allowed ourselves to reframe the game in the best light possible with this new vision, and this new vision being, wow, we're doing a whole new platform game. And so we renamed, obviously we did a new name, and even just the level select screen, even though that's so seemingly simple and small, that took weeks or months to not only decide what is it going to be, what's wrong with the old one, what are we shooting for, what's our inspiration, what's in the middle, what do we want to do with that information. Great, we've figured that out, nice. Now let's lay it out and design it and figure it out and ask all the questions and seemingly simple things, but when you can't help be affected by the past. And the level select in Chicken Wiggle is just a bunch of buttons that you move from and go, I want to select, I want to play that level. It's just a block, and then you've got another block, and you say, I want to play that level. And that's it. So for us, creating the new level select was like, okay, that's kind of how it's working under the hood. That code is still functioning that way, that you're still just selecting levels, but we want it to feel different for the player. So now the level select, like I say, is more like an overworld. Think, new Super Mario Brothers U, for example. It's an overworld map where you move from dot to dot, level dot to level dot. Maybe Mario 3 is a better example, but whatever. So even small things like deciding, well, do we want the player to walk from dot to dot or just teleport so it's still just a menu? Dink, 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 dink. Or is it like you move and it goes dink, 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 dink. And obviously we went through the latter where you do walk from dot to dot. And that seems like a small thing, but it was really vital. And that's just one example of many things that we considered.
Yeah, exactly.
The pros and cons of what does that mean?
Example.
One tiny example of how we want it to be. Anyway, so that happened. We completely re-envisioned the game, de-emphasized the level editor in how it is sold as a package, as part of the game, and also how it's presented to the player. Not to diminish its awesomeness, because it's incredible. I mean, the editor is still awesome. It's still as good as it was on the 3DS.
Good.
It's amazing. I love it. I'm very proud of it. I mean, we make all of the levels for the game.
Feels great editor. On Switch too.
It does. We had to adapt it to button controls because the 3DS didn't support that because it just did touch. We also support touch on,
but it's touchscreen as well.
Switch. Yeah. Anyway, so we turned the game on its head, and that means more time, more money, and honestly, the easier, cheaper thing to do would be like, yeah, don't do any of that. Let's just port it to the Switch with nice fancy artwork for the budget of $35,000, which was the Kickstarter, and we'll be done here. We could have done that. We chose not to because that is a tougher road to walk, because we believe in what's best for the game, what's best for the player, which may be hard for some people to believe based on the Kickstarter and how it's gone. But that's truly the number one focus, is the game, the end result. So the time and the budget exploded. And in order to do that, we have to still bring money in to afford to do that. So that's what also added to the delay, was doing other projects to make money to allow us to do the vision of Hatch Tales. So that's a really long, answer, I think, to that question. But it's important to go into the details of that.
That's the juicy question, though.
It is the juicy question. Hopefully we've covered the majority of that. Obviously, if there are more questions for next week and so on that we didn't quite cover, happy to dive back into that, of course, as we continue wrapping up this game. So there you go. Nice. Big old juicy question.
We have another question here. And this says, is it general? Is that the name?
Oh, well, I'm going to ask this one because this is to you. This is a general question from multiple people. So it's from the general.
Gotcha.
What is a typical example of a creative meeting at Atooi?
Right. Well, I wake up 4 a.m.,
Mm-hmm.
get on the plane, head on down. No.
Yep.
That's a nice thing about is that we don't have to wear masks for our meetings because it's always
We
ditchy.
never have.
I know. It's nice.
It is nice.
Yeah. A typical example of a creative meeting is about what we're doing right now every day, for hours a day.
Pretty much.
Talking about every single project that we're doing.
Mm-hmm.
And it's a lot of fun. But it's really what we're working on for the time being, and then it's kind of like looking at like what's the next goal on our project list weeks ahead, kind of, and then a lot of times it's inspiration from the games that we've been playing.
Yeah.
So it's just discussions, and it's not. We never really set. I guess sometimes we set aside certain times to talk about specific things, don't we? And that's fun, and we actually get a lot done doing that too. But mostly it's kind of just like normal conversations about.
Yeah, I mean, it's amazing because we do a lot of our chatting on Skype. Not for any particular reason. It's just convenient, and that's what we do.
Yeah.
But and what's interesting about that is that will show you how long the call was when you hang up, and it's always surprises me. Like, whoa, that was 3 hours! Oh my gosh, we were talking about that for 3 hours. But it's awesome though. I love it. I think our process is pretty loose, but very focused at the same time. We know exactly what we're going after, but like I say, we focus on the result. Like how do we get there? We try not to take shortcuts. But yeah, exactly. All of our meetings, of course. I mean, Perry and I have met in person a few times, but all of our meetings are virtual, of course. Which is with Google Docs and pictures being sent to each other and all of that fun stuff. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Anyway, all right, cool.
So, do we want to do more questions or?
We could save some because we are running pretty long on this one. We're aiming for a 10-minute show each week. This obviously is going to be a little bit longer than that, which is fine. It's the origin episode, as it were. So we can save some for the future. So the next segment is yours.
Announcements. We got to have something juicy for this. Mm-hmm. But the first one is really fun, and you happen to mention that with Matthew, Mutant Mudds being the first game he has worked on. Mutant Mudds is going to turn 10 January 26th. Which is when this is being posted, essentially, when this is around the time. So happy 10 years.
Amazing. 10th anniversary.
10 years. Wow. If only there was something going on this year. Had to do with Mutant Mudds.
It'd be nice to be able to celebrate that game this year.
You should make a board game based off Mutant Mudds.
We already have.
And Mutant Mudds Super
Challenge. It was so cool. Last year it came out. Was it last year?
That's right.
It was last year.
That's funny. Right? We didn't even pose that as a 10-year anniversary because it was 8 years. That was in 2020. Yeah. Was the Atooi collection?
Was it 2020?
Well, Atooi collection was, yeah.
Was it really?
That crazy?
That is crazy. Last couple, I think everyone has had a time warp the last couple of years.
Yeah, totally.
But 10th year anniversary, very exciting. Woo-hoo. So 2012 Muds came out. 2022 now, incredible, and still going strong. Amazing. Mm-hmm. And looking at your t-shirt.
Yeah, nice shirt.
Hello.
Yeah. And then the second and last announcement is, and unfortunately Phil couldn't be here, but if he was here, we're talking about the reason why he's not here is because he's currently typing and clicking away
frantically
and drinking his energy drinks. Mm-hmm. Because he's wrapping up development on a secret Atooi game. Dare I say more? I dare. It's actually an online multiplayer game for the Nintendo Switch.
What?
Ever heard of it? One of these things?
That's crazy.
Mm-hmm. So and
no, I hear it's a simple one though. Just to temper expectations. I heard it's a simple multiplayer online game.
Nice
for the Switch.
Right. Yeah,
it's not like Fortnite or anything. Let's not get too crazy here.
Right. That would be crazy.
That would be crazy.
But yeah, we're really, 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 really excited and bursting at the seams. Bursting at the seams? Am I hinting at anything?
Seams.
No, I'm not.
No, you're not. Yeah, man, super fun. We're wrapping that up right now. And we're pretty close, to the point of being content complete. And we'll be doing testing soon.
How are you even going to announce that? We don't even know.
To be determined.
Like the actual game, you know what I mean? Like,
once we have it finished, then we'll figure that out.
I'll give one spoiler, which is this, is that it has character. Mm-hmm. I'm excited for people to experience it. It's quite different from anything that we've ever released.
It is very different.
Right? Yeah.
Being online, being multiplayer, the style that it's going for visually and audibly is very unique for us. I love it. It's a little bit of a departure, but not in a strange way. It's still fun and kind of Nintendo-y and in casual, and it's not taking itself too seriously. So it's definitely in the style of what we do, but it is different. Yeah, it's cool.
Woohoo! I'm excited. We were having fun playing it this morning.
Yes, we did. Trying to iron out issues. That's the hard thing about trying to finish a game is you see the finished game into the tunnel, but what you're playing today is a broken mess, and you're like, because you try to play something, crashes, or you do that doesn't work and it freezes it, or that's right, that's supposed to display, and that's not supposed to display. So it's the testing phase at the end of any game is quite heartbreaking until you finally get to the point of
heartbreaking, overwhelming, heartbreaking.
It is, and you're just trying to. It's a battle of will.
It's still really fun. I mean,
it really is. It really is super fun. And you can see it's so close to being what it needs to be, and that's going to be glorious. We finally get to experience that, which we haven't yet, but we know it's there. We're pretty close. All right, cool, fun. All right, and the next segment is us just talking about games. So, what games are you playing right now, Perry?
Well, it's funny. I feel like I snuck in a quick release that you were going to talk about. But I've been playing Pokemon Shining Pearl, actually. Because you've been talking about it. I guess we can kind of piggyback off each other, but I'm
playing that too.
Yeah. Oh, you just got super loud, by the way.
Oh, did I? Sorry about that. I was really close to the mic. My puppy dog just came up.
Look at that
Hello.
Guy. Ollie.
Hey, Ollie. How you doing, buddy?
So, Pokemon Shining Pearl. Just briefly, like I haven't played the Pokemon game since I played a little bit of Let's Go when that came out on Switch,
right?
Because I was the nostalgia overload. But I haven't played it since like Pokemon X or Y, and
you didn't check out Sword and Shield, right?
No. It just kind of slipped by me. I just wasn't. I don't know. I'd like to now after playing Pearl, though. It's funny, and I'm wondering about this new Pokemon, the Arceus or Arceus, whatever.
Yep.
That looks pretty cool. But I've been playing that. Had a few hours into that. It's fun. It's I'm having fun just playing through it, kind of speed running it because it's pretty easy compared to
where are you at right now? Have you got to a gym yet? Because you just started it, so I don't know where you're at.
The second gym.
Okay, cool.
So I'm doing something. I'm doing like a dance contest. That's where I'm at right now.
Oh yeah, okay.
Which is very funny, but and then that's what I've been playing. But and then we talk about a game that we've been playing, one that we would recommend, and I just gotta recommend. This is like my go-to, but Captain Toad. I just played through that last week while I was sick, and it was this amazing. And then, ironically enough, like the day I beat it, like through again, they put it on the Switch Online for free, so that worked out really good. But just one of my favorite games of all time. And it was really fun playing through. They just nailed that puzzle platformer. It's everything. Yeah, I want to make a game like that.
No,
so we put that on the list.
Yeah, absolutely, man.
What have you been playing, Jools?
I have been playing Pokemon Shining Pearl. I've got about 50 plus hours in that puppy.
That is crazy.
And even though I definitely recognize some of the warts that people have mentioned, because it's got a mixed bag as far as reactions online, which is, I guess, completely typical of everything. I don't know. I'm really enjoying it. I mean, I think it's just the core
something cozy about
design. It is the core game design concept of it shines through, pun intended, and it's just really fun. Just kind of going through it. It's really clean and slick and fun. So yeah, I'm right at the end at the Pokemon League. So yeah, I've really enjoying it. So that's been fun. I got into it when it first came out, and then I took a break, and then I got back to it again recently, and that's when I was.
It can seem like at the beginning, it can really like it can really be like a clam, but like deep down in the inside, there's this little shining pearl.
Yeah, they're the core shine through. Pearl, nice. And my recommended game is a weird one. Weird because I didn't know if I'd enjoy it, but I actually downloaded the demo. It's called A Voice of Cards: The Isle Dragon Roars by Squeenix. Pretty cool, unexpected. I downloaded the demo, which is obviously free. Went through that, and I was like, "Oh, well, that was interesting." Heavy narration, and it's all on a table, and cards flipping over, and things moving around. Very slick presentation, cool narrator, cool characters and story, but really light, a really basic experience, which is quite lovely. It's not heavy. It's not much, if any, grinding. It's just a very mellow, almost like a D&D kind of experience, but in the way they did it. It's very light, very nice, very pleasant, very slick. It's almost like,
is it like take place like on a tabletop? Like is
that so it's
like
kind of like Clubhouse Games meets RPG. You know what I mean? It's very interesting.
Yeah, cool.
Yeah, it's neat. The thing that's really cool is, so when I got the game after playing the demo, the game, they're different. The demo is unique in its story and characters and content, and it's really worth playing that. And then you play the game because the game doesn't have that. And it's like, whoa, wait, what? And it has characters in it that you meet in the game, but you don't really play as them, which is interesting, but you do in the demo. It's like, whoa, what? Really bold approach. And I loved it. I didn't expect that. And I was like, whoa, that's actually really rich the way you did that. That's cool. Anyway, it's a weird one. I really, really digged it. It's light in the way that SteamWorld Quest is. Like, I really enjoyed SteamWorld Quest, but that's a pretty simple, nice experience. It's not massive. It's similar in some ways to that, which is pretty cool. So there you go.
Nice,
cool,
very
man.
Cool.
Well, I think that wraps up our first episode of Atooi Talks. We will obviously evolve and grow with this show. Check us out on Twitter and Discord if you want to send any questions our way, YouTube, etc. And yeah, anything you want to close on, Perry Thatherton?
You're talking about demos, and I just remember one of my favorite demos ever was Super Challenge back in 2015.
Oh wow,
E3.
What was it? The E3 at home, Indies at home, or something.
Yeah, Indies at home.
Indies at home. That was a really
that Ghost.
That was a cool event.
I remember playing that on my Wii U. That was just super fun.
Yeah, and that demo was unique just for that one event. Yep. Yeah, you didn't see it after that, which is really weird.
Yep. And I remember I got a discount too.
Oh, that's right. You got a discount for downloading it. I like that demo. That was fun. Because the levels were like, it was 3 levels, right? 1 in each layer as far as depth, I think. Yeah, which was cool. Something like that.
So good. And then the boss at the end was great.
Oh, that's right. The ghost boss, which is the best boss. We basically gave everyone the best boss in the demo. That's what we did. Yep. Cool. All right, man. Well, it's good seeing you, dude. Good hanging out. We'll hang out again. See you next week.
Sounds good.
All right, dude.
On Atooi Talks.
Yeah.